Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and we have another unboxing to do today as I just purchased a few figures that were easily worth the price of admission that I found a seller that was only like about 2 hours away from me. I ended up actually having them ship it to me, but the seller was selling some really cool stuff and it was like 20 bucks for everything pretty much. So definitely some stuff that I thought was easily worth the purchase, even though I do actually have the majority of it, but it was stuff that I did not mind picking up again, and for a really good price like that, I just couldn't help myself. So the very first figure that we have here in the lot is this, and if you are familiar with these figures, this is the HG Toys Brontosaurus, and it's a figure that I do already have, but it's a figure that just has a lot of really cool old school charm and something that I have fond memories of as far as like this line and playing with the figures as a child. I used to have the Tyrannosaurus or an Allosaurus or whatever the figure is meant to imply it is, but I used to have that one, and I actually think I might have had this one as a child too, but things get broken over time. I lost them over time, and I did already repurchase this at some point a ways back, but again, seeing it included had me pretty excited to have yet another. And then we have, and this is also going to be a lot of vintage dinosaur figures, just so you're all aware, but we have another Protoceratops as far as the Definitely Dinosaurs line goes. This one, however, doesn't have a tail, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with this guy, especially when I already have like a ton of these Protoceratops, probably a herd of them at this point in time, so again, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this guy, missing a tail and everything, but he was included, so I figured I'd show him off to you guys. And then as far as some randoms go, we have this weird, ugly little creature right here that was included, and also this one, which is an Imperial Dinosaur figure, so definitely a figure that I played with a lot as a child. The paint is pretty scuffed on this one, unfortunately, but I mean, at this point in time, most of the Imperial figures that you'll find are probably pretty well scuffed because they were definitely some pretty popular figures back in my day as a child, and definitely something that a lot of people had, and they were very heavily played with. But it's nice to see that so many are still surviving as far as like the overall shape. Like they're still in decent shape, just not so much paint-wise, but in good shape other than the paint. Maybe something I'll paint and repaint at some point just to give it more of a realistic look. I'm very intrigued to see what some of those older Imperial figures would look like with good paint on them. And then we have an absolute ton of these Definitely Dinosaurs figures. I think these guys were the ones from the McDonald's Happy Meals, but I'm not 100% sure as I don't really recall all that well. But there is quite a few, and we have even some doubles as far as like the dinosaurs included here. Pretty much almost all of them have doubles, as we have double the sauropod, double the Stegosaurus, we have double what I'm pretty sure is the T-Rex, and he's trying to ride on that sauropod right there for some reason. Okay, actually we have triple of the Rex. There are 3 of them included here, and the Triceratops as well, which I don't really know where to put him at this point in time. So lots and lots of those, and then we also have this weird little Ankylosaurus, sort of an eraser, who happens to be missing the club tail. Nothing special there. And then we also have this somewhat awkward looking Ankylosaurus-like dinosaur as well, who also has part of his club tail kind of like ripped off or chewed off or something. But again, these figures aren't exactly the reason that I bought this lot. And then there's also, and he's kind of running out of room here as far as coming into frame, but this really old school sort of a Godzilla figure, which I do believe I had as a child as well, but he was also included, and he's pretty fun for what he is, I guess. But I'm going to have to clear these other guys out of here to show you the final 2 figures that were included. Actually, I meant final 3 figures that were included, because there are 3 more, one of which is this beast right here, which you can see once I kind of pan the camera back a little bit. This is the Definitely Dinosaurs Brontosaurus, and it is a figure that I actually did already have, but the one that I have is really beat up. The neck is kind of messed up. It doesn't work that well. It also doesn't include the seat for the caveman, and just in general is really beat up as far as like the paintwork, and the overall body is fairly beat up. So this one's in a lot nicer shape overall. Not perfect, but again, nicer. And being included in this lot of figures, I was 100% in as far as picking up another and getting myself a mating pair, I guess you could say, of definitely Dinosaurs, Brontosaurus figures. Such a really cool vintage dinosaur as far as the overall appearance goes. Really cool figure for sure, and something that I'm really happy to have now a second of. And the second to last is this one right here. And this would be the Tycho Dino Riders Stegosaurus, and it is a gorgeous looking Stegosaurus figure. One that I could not possibly be happier to add to my collection. Sculpt-wise, this thing is really, really impressive, and that is something that I often encounter when it comes to the Dino Riders figures. They're usually way better than I expect them to be, and that is exactly the case with this Stegosaurus, sporting an incredibly nice vintage appearance and a really nice and highly detailed sculpt. And one thing that is even more incredible about the figure is the fact that he still works. How cool is that? Absolutely awesome to have now a working Stegosaurus from the Dino Riders line in my collection. This one here pretty much is worth the price of admission alone. And the final figure, and probably the third or fourth time now that I've purchased one, because I am just absolutely obsessed with the figure. And you could probably tell just by looking at the feet right there who it is, and of course the JP logo right there, but it is a Kenner Red Rex. So being included in a lot for 20 bucks with all of these figures, including a really nice Kenner Red Rex, and it's in great shape. Like, I am honestly super impressed with how good of shape this is in. I almost think that it was never even played with. It's in that good of shape. Like, I don't see any, even though my camera keeps messing up as far as the lighting goes, but there doesn't really appear to be like any paint chips or anything on this. And in an even more awesome twist, we still have this. So not only is it in great shape, but it still works. Insanely awesome to have this included, and I'm just so psyched to have yet another Red Rex. This is a figure that I think I played with more so than any other dinosaur on the planet as a child when it came out. So to have now, I think 3 or 4 of these in my collection is just incredibly awesome. So something I was definitely psyched to add to my collection yet again, especially with having one in such good shape. So that's it. That's my entire lot. For 20 bucks, I thought it was a steal. As always, thank you guys for watching. Keep checking back for more reviews, more unboxing videos, and just general dinosaur awesomeness. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.